All right, before we open these, we'll go see. While we wait for some people. Whoa, there goes one of the lizards. We'll see where Tony is, how he's doing. He's down there in the bottom of his pond. You can kind of see he's like under that part. Water's nice and clear. Biofalls working the way they should work. I love seeing that. We'll go see if we can take a peek over here, get a good glimpse of the Tone Man, Big Tony. He's not actually that big. I just like calling him Big Tony. Can't really see him. See if we can cross into here and get a good look at him. Let's see, yeah, he's pretty well under those logs. Let's see, I can kind of see his head there. I can flip this upside down. Let's see if we can see him if I flip this upside down. There he is. He's down there. Oh, Tony doing good. All right. We have stuff to do on this live today. Let's see if I can get this cleaned off nice and well. There we go. All right, we're back on. Let's make our way back over here for the whole point of this live video. Got 2 tubs right here. And I got some new turtles in these tubs. Really excited. This actually was kind of random. Hey buddy, can you go trapping with me? I mean, if you're in the area, yeah, that's a possibility. I'm in Georgia, so I'm not sure where you're at. So anyway, these 2 tubs are turtles I got an email about like last week asking if I had some room for these 2 turtles. And given the type of turtles they are, I said, you know what, I do have room. So thought it would be interesting, and kind of given their background, which I'll talk about a little bit later, given the background and their history and who they're from, I was really intrigued. And I met up with the guy today, picked these guys up, just got home with them. So I figured we'll open these tubs and take these turtles out, and then we're going to talk about where they're from, how long they've been in captivity, and what the plan is with them now that they made it back here to my house. Little ADHD alert. There's the sulcata chilling. So yeah, let's take a look, and we'll open the first tub. And this tub's really, there we go. Open it up, and there we go. A good-looking female Apalachicola alligator snapping turtle. Let's see, we'll get a good look at her. You can see she is very, very old. I mean, given that this turtle's been in captivity since at least the late 70s, likely, you know, a few years before I think the date the guy said he got him was 1978. And likely been in captivity, you know, years before that. So probably been in captivity for 50 years. And from everything I can tell, I mean, this thing has like no new growth on it whatsoever. You know, there's a chance this turtle was caught as an adult all the way back then. So we'll go ahead and we'll take her out, set her on the grass, and we'll open the next one. Let's set this over here. Here we go. Right, look at that. That's a good looking turtle. She's very, very old, and it looks like she's got some injuries on her feet, probably from being bitten by the other one. That gives away what's in the other tub. Go ahead and take this and move this here. There we go. Excuse me, ma'am. And I'm gonna go ahead and open this one. This one's got like kind of a cool top, and this is the other one. This one's a little bit bigger. There's that bright yellow nose. And again, both of these turtles in captivity since before I was born. Been in captivity since the 70s, and they just needed a good place for them to go, a place where they could be kept outside, get a good diet, good care, and you know, that's what I plan to give them. Right here, it's another little ADHD thing, but there is a little baby praying mantis. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so I'm gonna pick this one up and we'll set them on the ground, give a talk about them, and here we go. Oh, this one's much heavier than the other one. And you can actually, looking inside her mouth, you know, these turtles grow plates to crush mollusks. And looking inside her mouth, I can see that she's got an overgrowth on those plates. So we're gonna need to feed these, you know, clams and hard stuff to really wear those plates down. Go ahead and grab the phone. And let's see if we can get a shot of that with the phone. If you look in that lower jaw right there, you can kind of see it sticking up a little bit, that there's some, you know, extra keratin. So the surface of the jaws is covered in keratin, which is the same stuff as our fingernails. It's like basically keratin grows over the bone. And when that stuff starts to overgrow and they don't have something to wear it down on, it starts to kind of impact and kind of stack up essentially. But yeah, these are not albinos. These are, you know, turtles from the Flint River drainage is where I believe they came from. And they naturally kind of turn a light color with age. And so when you get these really old ones, they often are yellow or like a whitish color. And so let me see if can I zoom with this? Oh, look at that. So if you look right there, that thing that almost looks like a buildup of plaque, that is where the plate needs to be worn down and where that keratin has just piled on top of itself. So the way that should look is that should look smooth. When these turtles are eating a lot of hard stuff, that'll be smooth. So, and you can see they have some injuries where, you know, where they were previously housed, they were, you know, biting each other. And that's pretty common, especially if you don't have like extra cover in the enclosure, like a place that's like a safe spot where if they're in a fight, one can go and hide under something, get away from the other one. And if there's no like visual barrier, they'll just keep biting each other and kind of driving each other crazy. So you do end up with, you know, kind of these foot injuries like that when you keep them together and they don't have a place to get away. And, you know, like this case here, like completely missing toes. But, you know, these are females, so my guess is this one's probably in the 30-pound range. This one's probably in the 35 to 40-pound range. Both very old. For females, this is really about max size. I mean, there are bigger females out there, but this is, you know, pretty much full-grown size. Let's see. Kickapoo Creek AST Research Acres. That's an awesome name. Come out to my place in Texas. Wow, dude, that sounds cool. I really want to see the ones from Texas because, you know, morphologically, they, you know, just are shaped and built so different than the ones here in Georgia and the ones that I work with in Georgia and Florida. Those ones from Texas just look so much more like kind of primeval and primitive. And here comes this guy. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move these to a stock tank. I don't really want to stress them out too much, but I did want to kind of get a good look at them, assess how they're doing, and then pretty much as quick as I can, I really want to kind of get them back into some water and just leave them alone for, you know, maybe a week or two before I really mess with them. And this guy's coming over here to mess with them right now, so we're just going to take this guy who is really curious but also territorial. I'm going to point him that way, and we will just one at a time shuttle these girls back to a stock tank back there, and that'll be their home for right now. And then we'll see, you know, which pond they're going to end up in. Obviously, before I introduce them to a pond that has other alligator snappers or anything else, I want to kind of keep an eye on them, see how they're doing. Also want to see, are they going to pass anything weird in fecals and stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes. So why does your tail look like that? Why does your tail look almost male? That's kind of weird. I don't think you're a male. I think you're a female. We're going to look at that closer. Let's go ahead and get this female into the pond, and then we'll come back and grab this one. So I think the best thing to do is, since the sulcuta's hanging out, is go ahead and put this one back in this tub so that the sulcuta doesn't mess with it. Or actually, here's the easy way to do it. we can just take this, set that over that. It's dark, that one calms down. Sulcutta can't see it, he's not gonna mess with it. And then we'll just grab this turtle. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna try and hold the phone. We'll just do this. Drop the phone, there we go. All right, there we go. Now I got it. All right, now we can walk to the back. While we walk to the back, it's like my daughter's little pool. And then we can say hi to the pond. Yay, there's the aquascape pond. Oh, I see an AST right there. You can see some of the shell right at the base of that stump. So yeah, this is definitely the alligator snapping turtle yard. All right, so this is actually got a filter hooked up to it and the water's slowly moving. Lots of fish in here, lots of mollusks on the bottom. Got some logs to hide under, and most importantly, it's in a place where nobody's gonna see them, nobody's gonna mess with them. Lots of soft tannins to the water. It's gonna feel good on their skin. And yeah, so I'm gonna get that other female, we're gonna put them in here. And I'm gonna spend the rest of the day kind of observing them. If they get in here and they're both stressed and I see them bite each other, I have yet another stock tank over there and we can move that one to another stock tank. I try to keep a lot of stock tanks available for the event that this comes up and, you know, alligator snappers need a place to stay. So let's go back. Let's get the other one, which is going to be much harder to do the one-handed trick with. I also want to double check that that's not a male. I was told 2 females. That tail looked a little thick. Let's see what everybody's saying. Let me answer some questions real quick. Yeah, people say they're good to eat. I wouldn't eat them. They have so much stuff stored up in their flesh over years, like so many toxic things and also parasites. It just seems like a bad idea. So these turtles were acquired by a guy in the 1970s from a famous trapper named Al Redmond, who trapped the lower Flint River and nearly wiped these out in that river. And consequently, he was wrought with grief and he decided he wanted to try and breed these turtles and reintroduce them. And so there was a while where that was what Al Redmond did. In the 70s, trapped them for food. In the 80s, was trying to reproduce them and repopulate them. And I guess this guy got them from Al back in the 70s while he was still catching them for food. And he's had them as, you know, just personal pets. And I don't know what happened with his life situation or whatever. I was reached out to that he didn't want to take care of them anymore, or maybe couldn't, and that just wanted them to go somewhere where they would be, you know, given a good life. So, yeah. How big should your tank be for an adult common snapper? Hopefully when you say tank, you mean stock tank, because that's what it's going to take. See if we can pick this turtle up. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that tail's female. It's just thick. She thick? All right, so this is pretty much bad TV right here, but we're almost there. Don't bite me. Oh my gosh, she's trying to bite me. All right, almost to the tank. All right, so we will get her right here. All right, I wanna make sure everybody can see. All right, there she goes. Into the water. Awesome. And like I said, this is actually recirculated. Those hoses go up, go to a filter on the back. It's actually, my output is actually underwater. I'll come back a little bit later and make that output kind of dripping, but for the most part, I just want it recirculated so if there's fresh water in here. I do keep a soft bottom. They like that, it's good for their skin. I also have some clams in here, and the clams do good on a soft bottom, and they'll actually reproduce if there's a soft bottom in there. So yeah, so that's a pretty basic alligator snapper stock tank. This size is pretty good for females. You know, it's pretty good size for them. For males, you know, when you get really big males, this starts to get kind of small, and males really move a lot. Look, you can see a nose right there. So yeah. All right, so yeah, got a couple of new turtles. Really, really pretty, really excited. It's gonna be neat to see you know, how they adjust and where we end up putting them, you know, as they get more acclimated, once they get comfortable, once they're feeding, getting them on a proper diet, and just in general, kind of seeing you know, kind of what happens with them and where it all goes. So thank you guys for jumping on this live. It's been fun kind of sharing that with you. I ruined my new shirt, but it's for a good cause. So cool. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.